We set adrift in search of fact. It seems indeed
YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Freshly Finished, and I am excited to bring you a 1v1 educational VOD review in Halo Wars 2. Now, in this game, I'm using Captain Cutter against Sergeant Johnson. And let me tell you, this was a battle 27 minutes long. Now, as you can tell by the length of the video, this obviously isn't 27 minutes. That's because I cut out all of the waiting, the sitting around, the training units, all of the stuff that's not really important. My goal on this channel is to get the information that's important and get it out quickly so that we can all learn to be the best that we can be at this game. I would like to note that I am still learning different things. I'm still trying to improve my game, so if you see something that I could improve that I don't mention, please leave it down in the comments. I like all sort of constructive criticism. Now, getting into the gameplay here, what I was trying to do in this 1v1 was use Captain Cutter's infantry base to really abuse map control. I really wanted to expand quickly, which is in the meta now. I recommend that at the start of every game you grab a mini base immediately and that you try to build your early army up as quickly as possible. Now, the idea behind this is not only to improve yourself, improve your own economy, improve your own population size, but to also take away from the enemy. You don't want them to expand. You don't want them to have map control. You want to have the bigger army at all times. Now, the next few things that you're going to see are me capping the power nodes and sending a unit over to scout his base. And what I'm going to find is that he built turrets expecting a rush, which gave me enough time to expand, grab a couple mini bases, grab the power nodes and whatnot, and really grab map control. Now, fast forwarding here, I went ahead and scouted later in the game, noticed that he had 2 garages, no surprise from Johnson. I started pumping out Cyclops and Nightingales. So as you're going to see, the first engagement that we have here, I'm going to use my archer missiles early, which in my opinion was a mistake. I could have easily used that on his army and won because I had Cyclops and he has vehicles. So I really have the matchup here. I also could have microed my units a little bit better. You should always keep them moving, always keep the enemy on their toes. It makes them harder to use leader powers. I end up losing the engagement due to poor micro and leader powers. Back up, I end up having to defend this expansion. Due to my battle hardened choice for a leader power, my units now gain veterancy, which I think helped me defend my base. He was pretty scared because I have better units, but I end up rebuilding my army, same sort of army comp, and I noticed that he has Kodiaks. So what I do is I go straight for the Kodiaks. Now, this may not have been the best choice because I'm walking through his army. What I could have done is walked around and tried to get the Kodiak first. That way I could have gone through the Kodiak and then back into his army to try to fight. I'm using grenade throw, but again, I wasn't moving my army, and it cost me because he hit me with the big EMP. He was able to push me back due to his 4 turrets and his good microing skills. Now, I backed my units up because of the veterancy, and I end up having another engagement where I call in my air support because his Kodiaks are hitting my base pretty hard. I end up walking around, coming up the ramp, trying to fight him here. He uses his mech overcharge, which makes his units invulnerable, so I just completely ignore them for the time being, kill the Kodiak, and then come back and try to fight these mechs again. Now, he's winning the battle. I end up microing good enough to avoid his EMP, but I think that he had way too many mechs in comparison to my Cyclops. So what I do is I try to finish off the weak ones and then I back up. I end up tech swapping into air. I go vultures and a condor. That's usually how you win these turtle situations. Vultures are great at destroying bases because of their viability, but he makes a great play. He uses his transport to transport all of his mantises over the gap. He ends up taking out my expansion, which is great on his part. It's always good to counter push, to try to apply pressure to the enemy. Now the thing about this play that he made is that now his units are far from his base and that I have tech swap to air. He doesn't know this, but as you can see, I have the better army here. I use my barrages on him. He EMPs my air units, which is a good try on his part, but like I said, I have the better army, so I'm gonna win this battle. After I wipe his army, you should always counter push, unless your army is just completely weak. But I know that he's scrambling, because he has to pump out Wolverines. He has to try to counter my air. And what you'll see is I push up on his expansion that he had built. Obviously this took time because vultures take time to make. Takes time for him to build up his army and, you know, decide to come over. So this is over the course, 10 minutes of me building my army, me getting my leader powers, me making these slow vultures and slow condor get across the map. But I end up calling in the drops, and focusing down his expansion that he had built, and winning this engagement. At this point I know that he is in a very bad position. It took a lot of resources to expand like that. I have all the power nodes except for one, and I've had map control pretty much the entire game. So I know that I'm gonna push up. I'm gonna push up to his main base. He has Wolverines, which is fine. In this situation, you should just continue to push because generally you're gonna have the stronger army. Especially I had battle hardened, so my Condor is already level 2 veterancy, as well as the drops that I have. So all my units are higher veterancy. It's not really gonna matter a whole lot with the Wolverines that he has. He focuses my Condor pretty well, but I micro it away. I try to use the tanks and the Cyclops as sort of like a shield to body block him. So as this game wraps up, I destroy his main, I push up to his last base. He ends up resigning, which is fine to get the victory. But I hope you guys learned a lot. I know that I did. I need to expand faster, I need to use my leader powers better, and I need to micro better. It's these little things that you notice in the VOD reviews that help you climb and get better at the game. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a good day, night, whatever it may be, and see you next time.